The old man's wrists shook as the cold steel clamped shut. The courtroom, usually filled with the low murmur of lawyers and clerks, fell into an uneasy silence. He was no criminal. He was a veteran, his medals once shining proof of service, now tucked away in a dusty box at home. Yet here he was, head bowed, wrists bound like a thief. Some whispered. Others looked away. But the judge didn't flinch. His gavel struck, sharp and final, as though justice had been served. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The veteran's name was Samuel. His hair was white, his back slightly bent from years of carrying packs heavier than most men could lift. He had come to this court not for crime, but for a dispute, a small matter over missed payments and late fees, born of medical bills that had swallowed him whole. He expected fairness. Instead, he met a judge who saw only numbers, not the man, who had once risked everything for the flag above them both. "Remove him," the judge ordered. 2 bailiffs moved, their boots echoing against the polished floor. Samuel's hands trembled, not with fear, but with humiliation. The murmurs grew louder. Some people shook their heads, uneasy with what they were watching. Others stared, frozen, as if unsure whether to intervene or stay silent. Then, the heavy wooden doors creaked. A sound so ordinary, yet it cut through the tension like a blade. Every head turned. A man in full uniform stepped inside. His presence was undeniable. The stars on his shoulders caught the light, his stride steady, his gaze unwavering. He was a general. The bailiffs hesitated. Samuel lifted his eyes for the first time that day, and recognition lit them with a fragile spark. The general scanned the room, then fixed his eyes on the judge. "Explain," he said, his voice calm, but carrying the weight of command that had once sent entire battalions into battle. The judge cleared his throat, fumbling for authority. "This man," he said, gesturing toward Samuel, "has failed to comply with the law. I will not allow disorder in my court." "Disorder?" the general repeated, his voice rising just enough to shake the silence. "This man stormed beaches so you could sit in that chair. He carried brothers home under fire so you could wield that gavel. And you dare put chains on him?" The courtroom erupted. Gasps, whispers, shifting feet. The bailiffs stood frozen, caught between orders and conscience. Samuel's eyes filled, but he did not lower his head this time. He held the general's gaze, and for the first time in years, he felt seen. The judge tried again, but his words faltered against the murmurs that grew louder, swelling into something dangerous, public outrage. The general stepped forward, his medals gleaming in the light. He reached out, and with a nod to the bailiffs, the cuffs were removed. The sound of metal unclasping was met with silence so thick it felt holy. Samuel rubbed his wrists, the red, marks stark against his pale skin. He whispered, almost to himself, "I thought they had forgotten." The general placed a hand on his shoulder. "Not while I'm breathing," he said. The crowd erupted into applause, not polite, but thunderous. It was not just for Samuel. It was for every veteran who had felt abandoned, for every sacrifice that had gone unnoticed. The judge, pale and silent, had no gavel strong enough to silence what had been unleashed. Because true justice is not found in papers or penalties. It is found in honor. It is found in the courage to stand for what is right, even when it is inconvenient. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. The courtroom that had begun with chains ended with freedom. And as Samuel walked out, not alone, But with the general at his side, the air felt lighter, as if the building itself knew a wrong had been made right. If this story moved you, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories of courage, resilience, and truth.